I'm going to show you Starry Sky Stacker version 1.1. Starry Sky Stacker is a Mac application for combining images of the night sky that are taken with a camera mounted on an equatorial mount so it tracks the stars as they move across the sky. Let's start by opening some images. Here are some images, 30 images in fact, that Katja Zaidel has been nice enough to let me use for testing and demonstration purposes. These 30 images were taken over the period of about an hour, so each image is an exposure of about 120 seconds. Each image is fairly sharp. The stars are well tracked during that 120-second period, but over the course of the hour there will be some error in the tracking of the stars. So what we have to do is align all the images. What we've done is we've read all the images and now we're working on the alignment. The alignment, as I said, compensates for the error, the accumulated error in the tracking. When we're done with the alignment, we're going to estimate the quality of the images. Some of the images will have some problems with them, either because there was some vibration, the camera shook in the wind or something, or because there was some atmospheric issues, so the stars look blobby rather than as nice round points. So the quality estimate will help us choose which images we're going to put into our final composition. Let's skip ahead to when we're finished with the alignment. Okay, now we're done with the alignment and we're going to estimate the quality for the 30 images. Okay, Starry Sky Stacker has estimated the quality, sorted the images by quality, and decided that the first 19 are pretty good and the remainder are not so good. So let's zoom in. I can use the Z key to do that, or I can use this button here. So let's scroll over back to the middle here. And as we move this slider around, and we're going to move it pretty slowly, we're always looking at the worst image that will be included in the final composition. And we can see that these images, the stars are quite blobby. They're not nice round points. So let's go to the left now, and we're looking at including fewer images, and they're generally a bit better. So I'm going to just leave it at the original estimate of 19 images and look at some of the other controls here. Let's return the brightness and contrast to their default values by double-clicking them. The images as they originally come in are fairly low contrast, and that's what we want because there is a lot of dynamic range in the night sky. The stars, some of these stars are very bright, as you can see, and there's other areas that are quite dark. If we reduce the contrast, then we can improve the final result after we have finished stacking. We're looking at the images here sorted by estimated quality. This check mark indicates which image we're currently looking at. These X's indicate images that are excluded from the final composition. We can jump to a specific image and say, for some reason I don't like this, and I can say exclude, or I could say include. We're back to our original 19 images. We can sort these images by the name or by quality. I think it's best to remain sorted by quality. We can step through the images one by one, looking at them with these buttons here or with the arrow keys on the keyboard. And I guess that's the controls. So let's composite the images. So what we're going to do is take these 19 images that we've selected because the stars are quite round in these images. We think they are the best 19 images. And we're done. We've computed the mean and median, and those are computed after applying 2 rounds of outlier rejection. We also have the max and the min. The max and the min are used for special purposes. The most commonly used one, I think, is median. It typically gives the best looking results. And that's what we're looking at here. Let's play with the contrast a little bit, bring it up a little bit, make the image look a little bit more like what it might look like when we're finished using our image editing tools to make the final image. And we can see that we have stars that are nice and sharp and round, and there's pretty low noise in the areas, in the dark areas around the stars. And so let's look at one of the input images. And I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's quite a bit more noise in that. But the final image is quite low noise, and the stars are points. Starting from 30 images that Katja Zajdel was nice enough to let me use to show you how Starry Sky Stacker works. Finally, what you would like to do is save these images, the final image, sorry, and you can change the name here if you like, or you can leave that default and hit save. I'm not going to bother because, of course, I've done this before. I'll just cancel that. And now we'll load some new images. And these were donated by Derek Lim, and he's done something different. What he's done is every few frames, about every 3 frames during the capture, he moved the camera slightly. So the tracking for these images is not accurate. Every 3 images, so there's a big change in the tracking. So we have to check this checkbox to tell the alignment system that there will be big movements that it has to compensate for. So now we're aligning these 10 images. It's going to be a little bit more work to align these images than images that have accurate tracking. So we're done with the alignment, and we're going to estimate the quality. And in this case, we're going to take all 10 images because that's all we have, and also they are, in general, pretty good. You can see an artifact here and maybe a line down the edge here. That's showing us how big the manual movements that Derek made were. So that's just the error introduced by Derek when he moved the camera manually. We'll just have to crop that off of the final image when we're done and we're processing with our image editing tools. Okay, at this point the thing to do is hit composite. Composite 10 images. Let's take the median, and there we are. That's our final image. Let's play with these a little bit. Let's zoom in here, and when we're finished with our image editing tools, that might be what things look like in the end. Stars, fairly sharp points. The areas in between the stars, very little noise. Let's compare that with an original. Quite a bit of noise in the original, not much noise in the final result. So thanks to Derek Lim for donating those images. And a reminder, if you're moving your camera manually, you have to check that checkbox indicating that the tracking is not accurate. Now the value of that checkbox is remembered. So the next time we load images, it's going to be checked. If you have another set of images where you are not moving the camera manually, you have to remember to uncheck that box. But if you're always moving your camera manually, that checkbox will remain checked for you. Okay, and thanks to Derek Lim for letting me use these images to show you how Starry Sky Stacker works.